All right. I will welcome up now practitioner or ministerial intern, right? Kathy Wilson.
Good morning, everyone. We are going to do the affirmation 3 times. The first time with enthusiasm. Yay! The second time, use your quiet voice. And the third time, please be silent and listen to the words as I speak the affirmation. So, today's affirmation is do we have a slide for it? Okay. Brought to us by the wonderful ministerial intern Karen Blakely. Begin. I celebrate the past that brought me to this moment and surrender to the greatest yet to be in me. I claim 2024 as the year of the spiritual rebel and step boldly forward, sharing my gifts with the world. And so it is. I celebrate the past that brought me to this moment and surrender to the greatest yet to be in me. I claim 2024 as the year of the spiritual rebel and step boldly forward, sharing my gifts with the world. And so it is. I celebrate the past that brought me to this moment and surrender to the greatest yet to be in me. I claim 2024 as the year of the spiritual rebel and step boldly forward, sharing my gifts with the world. And together we say, and so it is. And now another wonderful song. Yay, Gary. I love your hat.
Thank you. This was supposed to be my Christmas outfit, but I forgot to pick it up at the cleaners. So I'm celebrating Christmas in here today. Although I got to take these off to see. There you go. Take these shoes, click clacking down some dead end street. Take these shoes and make 'em fit. Take this shirt, polyester piece of trash made in nowhere. Take this shirt and wash it clean. Take this soul, stranded in some skin and bones. Take this soul, make it sing. Yahweh, Yahweh, always pain before the child is born. Yahweh, Yahweh, I'm still waiting for the dawn. Take these hands, teach them what to carry. Take these hands, don't make a fist. Take this mouth, so quick to criticize. Take this mouth Give it a kiss. Yahweh, Yahweh, always pain before the child is born. Yahweh, Yahweh, still I'm waiting for the dawn. Take this city, a city should be shining on a hill. Take this city, if it be your will. What no one can own, no one can take. Take this heart, this breaking heart. Take this heart and let it sing.
Now it's time for our meditation. So I invite you to go within. Get comfortable in your chair. Close your eyes if you're comfortable. And connect to that light source. That healing, wonderful, intuitive, imaginative, and creative source that gave birth to each and every one of us. So I invite you to go within and imagine something wondrous, something that you really want to set an intention for. This year coming up, 2024, is filled with endless possibilities. Everywhere there are choices for the good. Imagine manifesting your heart's desire, manifesting whatever it is you want. Enjoy your meditation. It is now time for a healing affirmation, meditation, affirmative prayer. So I invite you to bring to mind someone, some situation, some condition that is calling for a healing. It could be a friend, a loved one, maybe it's your neighbor, or the little girl down the street that you saw yesterday. Just bring them into your mind and heart, because we absolutely know that the power and presence in the universe is absolutely healing. That there is no condition that doesn't have a solution. There is no opportunity that doesn't overcome trouble. And love is the most powerful of all. So I invite you to love on that person, that place, that situation. Knowing that as you do, that energy, that force, the light within you heals all that needs to be healed. And I absolutely know that this is so. This is the truth of the power and the presence within each and every one of us. And as we boldly seek that healing, it is done. And together we say, and so it is. Another wonderful song from Gary.
And now for something completely different. Blank eyes and a dead smile, they stopped me in my tracks. How you doing was the manipulative question that was asked. Well, I stared at him hard and said, do you really want to know what forces lurk behind the windows to my soul? Well, he froze, intimidated, and he stared down at his shoes. I said, fear not, brother. I bring you good news. Power has been restored. Power has been restored. My seatbacks and tray tables are upright and locked. My compost is heaping and my punches are all clocked. My internal clock is perpetually on time. My grout is cocked and my meat is grade A prime. Life is a drama, but I am here to play. So fear not, sister, I bring good news today. Power has been restored. Power has been restored. A deep and probing query into the eyes of the seeming dead reveals a pebble of life still rattling inside of his head. But the eternal question is, where will he choose to stay? In his beautiful tragic history or the blank page of today? So wake up, sleepers, it's right outside your door. Fear not, good people, I bring better news than I had before. Power has been restored. Power has been restored. All my collectibles are registered and commemorized, and all of my Ellens are eternally degenerized. Power has been restored. Power has been restored. My interest is compounding each and every day. My lines are almost memorized. My love is here to stay. Power has been restored. 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 Power has been restored.
Let's give it up again for Gary Weinberg.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
You know, I just am so grateful to Gary and his wife, Melanie. Where's Melanie? You know, because it's like a team thing, right? It's like, honey, where do you want to spend the last day of 2023? Wouldn't it be the Amani Center? You know, they come as a package, so always appreciate the love that you've poured into this center. So thank you so much. Well, now I get to introduce our speaker today, Karen Blakely, ministerial intern, and my girlfriend. I know, some of you know that, some of you don't know that. So the bio I have here is that Karen stepped into a CSL in 2010. She's currently a board member at Eureka CSL, a practitioner, a ministerial intern, and she's also a speaker and performer. She was actually part of the National Speakers Association for a time period. She plays an incredible violin and sings like a bird. She didn't write that, I put that in there. She describes herself as a creative analyst with a passion for establishing a loving, sacred space wherever she goes. Her greatest joy is in serving others and sharing her gifts with the world. So that's her official bio. But there's an unofficial bio. I know, Karen's scared now. You know, it's interesting when we do bios because there's only so much we can tell you, and it's usually kind of the surface stuff, right? But here's the part I wish you knew. I wish you knew her heart. She served as a nurse for over 10 years, caring for sick children. She cares for the environment. She's very conscientious. She has like 5 garbage cans. I have to learn them all when I come over. I wish you knew her integrity to this teaching. She had a voice tell her to leave her home, Arizona, of many decades, to come to Eureka, the trees. And she honored that. That's the kind of integrity in person who's coming up here today. And I could tell you I'm honored to introduce her because she's my girlfriend, but frankly, I'm just honored to introduce her because of who she is. Please give a warm welcome to ministerial intern Karen Blakely.
Thank you, baby. Wow, it's not every day you get an introduction like that. Ooh. Well, what a great morning we're having. I love to see so many people that are here. We're on the last day of 2023. Can you guys believe that? I swear it was just yesterday that we were going to party like it's 1999. What happened? How did we get here? And you know, on Facebook the other day, I saw that today's date is 123-123. So I decided we're maybe not in 1999 anymore, but we still have to have a dance party. Does that sound like a dance party? Yeah. And no dance party would be complete without all of you there. And so that's the title of my talk today. It's Unwrapping the Gift of You. And so to begin, let's do a little bit of reflection on where we've been this year. And so I want you to think in your mind of everything that has happened for you since January 1st, and that's manifested in your life. And really look at those big gifts as well as the little kernels, and hold those and honor them. I know for me, as Mitch alluded to, I've really gotten to sink in to this new life that I've created here in Northern California. And then in August, I met Reverend Mitch and ended up here today with you. So life just continues to unfold in this beautiful, authentic way. And then no reflection would be complete without reflecting on how the world has unfolded this year. That might be a little more challenging. We've had multiple wars going on. There's still mass shootings. We've had some pretty big political changes this year too, yeah? And for me, I find that sometimes I struggle to stay out of fear a little bit. And so I took into contemplation, how can I stand in principle in the midst of this? And so the question that I asked was, how can I be for something and against nothing while all of this change is going on? And as I walked through my day with that contemplation running in the back of my mind, I found myself reading an article about Burning Man. Anybody know what Burning Man is? Yeah, lots of hands. All right. It's often referred to as like the party in the desert, but it's so much more than that. It's considered a cultural movement in and of itself. And it does happen out in the desert in Nevada. And the event creates what they call Black Rock City. And that's where the event takes place. And there's all of this amazing art. And I was reading this article and just fascinated at learning so much more detail about this event. And the article says that as you approach the gates to the city, there is a sign that says, "Welcome to the Fertile Chaos Zone." And I thought, OMG, that's perfect. That's where we're at right now. The world is pure chaos. But then I had to stop myself because that sign didn't say, "Welcome to the Chaos Zone." It says, "Welcome to the Fertile Chaos Zone." And so we've got here at the end of the year, 2024 is laying before us like this freshly plowed field, this fertile soil. And it's up to us what we want to plant in there. And are we planting more fear and judgment or complaints about what we don't want? Or are we taking this as the opportunity to know that what we're seeding today is what's going to grow that light of peace, that'll make the world that works for everyone? That we're in this space where we have the opportunity to take the world from what feels like poverty and disconnection into that space of love and harmony and peace. If we're willing to take the chance and step in, if we're willing to unwrap that gift of us. And I believe that if we are alive on this planet right now, in this room or listening online or hearing this message anytime in the future, that it means that you're a change maker. And to me, a change maker is another way of saying a spiritual rebel, which you heard in my affirmation here this morning. And so a spiritual rebel is someone who is willing to answer that call, that urge that's within you. Anybody have that, like, oh, I really should do, and it just won't leave you alone? It just keeps on coming back? Yeah. Willing to answer the call, stand up, have the courage to take that step and step in, even when it seems a little crazy. And we've got some really great examples of spiritual rebels, don't we? Historically, we could call Buddha and Jesus and Muhammad, or even Thich Nhat Hanh and the Dalai Lama, Martin Luther King, or more modern day, we could look at Wayne Dyer and Brene Brown. I'm pretty sure that there are people out there who thought Brene Brown was a little bit crazy, right? She thought, I'm going to spend the next 6 years studying shame because that's exactly what everybody says they want. It's super sexy and marketable. No, that's not what she said. She did it because it was her call, because it wouldn't leave her alone, because something within her knew that this was hers to do. And because she did, she was able to make such a great impact on so many people. So I want you to think for a minute on who you would add to that list. Who are the spiritual rebels that you resonate with? And as you think about them, don't think about just what they did, but what are the values that they're identifying for you? What is it that you're connecting with? Is it the courage, the unconditional love that they shared, standing in their authenticity? Yeah. Does everybody have somebody in their mind? Yeah. Now, what if instead of thinking of them as the great exception, you realize they were the great example? That's who you have the opportunity to be. Brené Brown says that currently we're in a spiritual crisis. And addressing this crisis will require a tremendous amount of courage. For the moment, most of us are either making the choice to protect ourselves from conflict, discomfort, and vulnerability by staying quiet, or we're picking sides, and in the process, adopting the behavior or the people with whom we passionately disagree. She says that we need to reclaim authenticity and connection. I would add to that modern day spiritual warriors have to have the courage to show up fully, to be in our authenticity in every situation, to stand in our spiritual greatness and be the change we wish to see. Albert Einstein, who is one of the world's greatest inventors, who I would also argue was a metaphysician, says, we can't solve our problems with the same thinking we use to create them. Right? So this means we're going to need a spiritual solution to solve the spiritual crisis. And we're the ones that can do that. We are the ones, if we are willing to unwrap the gift of us and claim our status as spiritual rebels, to have the courage to step forward, to stand in the discomfort, even when it's not sexy, even when people think we're crazy, like Brené Brown, and even when we don't want to. And so that first step is that we have to surrender. Now, surrender is one of those words that gets kind of a bad rap. People think of surrender a lot as you see that white flag, right? It's an abdication of power where there's two sides and one wins and has power over. But there's another kind of power, and that's what Gary sung about earlier, and it's what we're talking about here. It's that power of. It's the power within, that light. Ooh, I'm taking things out. Look at that, so much power. It's the power within where we claim our truth. You know, when I first started in prac training, I had been someone who walked through the world feeling like the world was really unsafe. And so to keep myself safe and feel comfortable, I had kind of an invisible armor around me. And I would keep everybody at an arm's length, and then I was good. I could operate this way. I knew what was going to happen. Everything was good. But it also kept me disconnected. And it didn't give me the opportunity to be authentic, to unwrap and share my gifts with the world. So with a lot of work, I decided to leave that armor at home. And I'll never forget that first day that I stepped outside my home and I thought to myself, I am leaving my armor here. I was terrified. It felt so uncomfortable and so vulnerable. And I didn't want to do it. And I kept thinking, all right, I have left the safety over here. I'm going to get over there where it's safe again. And nothing kept happening. Nothing was coming through. And I'd been in those places where you do a shift, and you're kind of in this lull where something has left, but something new hasn't dropped in. But somehow this felt different. And it felt really huge. And I thought, when am I going to get to the other side? When is this going to end? And so again, I took that into my meditation practice. And I asked Spirit, I said, when do I get to the other side? And what I heard was, what if there isn't another side? What if the gift is in the opening, of being the opening? Wow. Isn't that powerful? that we all have that opportunity to share our gifts and shine. And just like Reverend Sherry talked about last week, this entire season I have been focusing on how each one of us is that light. That we're not simply recognizing the light, but we're being the light. That we're claiming that as our absolute truth and taking a stand for being the light in this world. To stand in our power and know that we know that we know who and whose we are to such a degree that nothing can sway us from following our calling and sharing our gifts with the world. That we do this even when people think we're a little bit crazy, like Brene Brown. She says that this is where true belonging begins to grow. That it is only by belonging to yourself so deeply that you can share your most authentic self with the world and find sacredness in both being a part of something and standing alone in the wilderness. That true belonging does not require you to change who you are. It requires you to be who you are, to be all of you, to allow whatever is your armor, what is ever keeping you wrapped up and small, to fall away in 2024 so that you can shine your authentic light with this world that is so in need of what we have to offer. I'm going to say that requires us to be spiritual rebels, to be unicorns in a world that sometimes feels ordinary or mundane. Yeah? Are you with me? Yeah, all right. And so I want us to remember that even when we think we don't have something to offer, that there are gifts in that. That there is never a place, that there is not a piece of you that has something to give. And so I want to tell you a story about a water bearer and two pots. There was once a water bearer in India, and he had two pots that he carried on a big long stick. And every day he would travel down to the stream to fill the pots with water and carry them up a steep path up to his master's house. One of those pots had a crack in the side. And so every day when he would get to the top of the hill up to his master's house, he would have exactly 1.5 full pots. And the perfect pot was very proud of himself and boasted about how he carried all of the water up to the top. But the pot with a crack felt ashamed. He felt like he had been a miserable failure because he was only able to accomplish half of what he set out to do. For a full 2 years, this went on with the water bearer filling the pots and bringing them up to the master's house, and every day, 1.5 full pots. And so after 2 years of what the cracked pot felt that he was just a bitter failure, he spoke with the water bearer one day. I'm ashamed of myself, and I want to apologize to you. Why? Asked the water bearer, dismayed. What could you possibly be ashamed of? Oh, for these past 2 years, I've only been able to deliver half of my load because of this crack in my side. Oh, you carry me all the way back to your master's house, and yet I am always only half full. And the water bearer was filled with compassion for the cracked pot. You know what? Today, as we walk up the hill, I want you to notice the beauty all around you. And the cracked pot agreed. And as they climbed the hill, he did notice that there were these beautiful flowers all along the path. And they made him feel a little bit better to see the beauty. Yet, when they reached the top to the master's house, once again, the pot was only half full. And so again, he said, I'm still a failure. I'm only half full. To which the water bearer said, "Did you see the flowers on the way?" "Well, yes, I saw the flowers." "Did you happen to notice that they were only on your side of the path?" I didn't think of that." "Well, that's because every day you have watered those flowers. That it's because of that crack that I am able to share this beauty and bless my master's house with it. What you perceive as an imperfection is exactly what I needed." And so I want us all to remember this as we think about sharing our gifts and think, but who am I? But I don't have, but I could never, but I'm not enough. Or are you exactly what the world needs right now? Remember, we said in the beginning that if we're here today, we're what the world needs. That means that you are always enough. That each one of you has that gift to share. What is it that you're waiting to share with the world? The ultimate gift that you can give this season is the gift of you. If you're here on this planet, it's because you're necessary. You're needed. And you're right where you belong. I'm going to challenge you to be willing to step out into that discomfort. And so tonight, when we count down to the new year, whether you're like some of us who do that on East Coast time, so we can go to bed a little earlier, or you wait till the full midnight, right? I challenge you not only to celebrate what's been, but lean in. Get excited about 2024 and allow yourself to be the gift the world is waiting for. You know, as I look out at each and every one of you, I see a herd of unicorns. Anybody know what a herd of unicorns is called? Yes. A herd of unicorns is called a blessing. And what I know is that we are all a blessing to this world. And how blessed am I to be on this journey with you. Thank you.
Give it up again for Karen Blakely. Oh, there we go. All right, now we have come to our joyous time of giving. And if you are here for the first time, please let our service and our music and our message be our gift to you. If you will, take your, right, you come up. Do you come up now to bless for people to take your gift in your hand? Yes, yes. Take your gift in your hand. And we also have a few ways that you can donate. We have the QR code here. If you shine your picture from your phone up here, it'll give you a link. You can also donate online. You could put something in the basket.
I was so enthralled with you. I forgot where I was for just a moment. Thank you, Karen. Thank you so much. All right. I encourage you to take your tithes and offerings, put them to your heart, knowing that as you give, so you shall receive. That's the way it works. So, no guilt, no trip. Just do it from love because you want to. These gifts and tithes do amazing work here at the Amani Center. through classes, through keeping the lights on and the doors open. It brings wonderful speakers like ministerial intern Karen. So many gifts as a result of your ties. I would love to share with you that this is home for so many of us. And that's important because it's here that we grow. It's here that we love on others and receive love. And how powerful is that? So I invite Gina to pass the basket. And as she's passing the basket, we get to hear another wonderful song from Gary.
Excuse me. One more time. I was hiding out on the streets of nowhere for what seemed like forever. In spite of all those good things that came along, I thought my life would never get any better. Till I made a choice to shake off my troubles, see the world's riches just laid out for me. Spirit opened my eyes, my happiness doubled. The highway is open and free. All the lies they tell on the streets of nowhere, you know they just don't ring true. All the junk I used to let inside my head, I'm making room for something new. 'Cause I've made a choice to shake off my troubles, see the world's riches just laid out for me. Spirit opened my eyes, my happiness doubled. The highway is open and free. I left my baggage back on the streets of nowhere. Now I'm traveling light. I'm traveling light on the road to now here. A lot of trash talking on the streets of nowhere, but I am turning off my ears. 'Cause I'm leaving my old stories in the past, and I am facing all my fears. 'cause I've made a choice to shake off my troubles, see the world's riches just laid out for me. Spirit, open my eyes, my happiness more than doubled. The highway is open and free. 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 Thank you. Thank you very much.
On behalf of the Amani Center, we are so grateful to you for helping us keep the Amani Center alive and well. Your home, your place. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, each and every one of you. And together we say, and so it is. And give it to
Blessed be. All right, let's welcome our kids up to the stage. Come on up. See what goodies we have here.
Tell everybody what we did today?
What's the affirmation? I keep forgetting it.
So today we made vision boards, and she printed out images, and we had stickers, and we had markers, and we just put them all over this. And we couldn't find any good glue because the rest of it was like it slime. So
We had a good giggle about this because I got
Yeah.
Dollar Tree glue sticks and they were rubbish. And Kira said to me, she said, "That's why you don't shop at the Dollar Tree." So I thought that was pretty good. Do you want to share something, Kira, or are you finished? Go ahead, you can finish.
and then also our affirmation is I forgot it, but I remember part of it was like if you having a bad day and you think you focus on the good stuff, it will grow and you'll have a good day.
So we were like opening the glue sticks, and then so the glue turned into slime thing, and it did nothing. Except you just squished it, and I said, "Well, this is why you don't buy glue from Dollar Tree." We can just, but we just mostly just cut it with scissors for some reason. It's funny.
Anybody else? All right. I think we had a really good session today. My name is Nicole, by the way, secretary to the Amani Center Board. Another thing that we did, our affirmation was what we focus on grows. And we had another moment where we spoke about how important it is not to push the bad feelings to the side. It's really good to process them and then focus on the good. So we had a good 60-second session of screaming over there. So that was really good. So anyway, happy New Year's Eve, everybody. Thank you.
Yes, please. Don't you wish you got that at this age? How many? Yes? Isn't this great? And all that we do here helps support that. I'm so grateful. So we're going to do our closing song. If you can, please rise as we sing The Presence is Here. Hold on. The presence is here. The presence is here. Love and spirit prevail on each
So let's just breathe into this amazing goodness. Taking in that collective breath. And what I know is true is that there is only one presence, one power. I call it peace. I call it love. And I know that it is present here and now because God is all that there is. And what I also know is true is that we are one with this. That right where we are, God is. That we are that love, that peace is in every cell and fiber of our beingness. And so I just speak a word for us as we go out this evening and into 2024, knowing that we are the peace in the world. Knowing that we are the love, and that as we share that, as we shine and share our gifts, that we up-level the vibration of this very planet. That we are that light changing and bringing light to every dark corner. And so it is in this knowing that I simply rejoice. I give great thanks for each one of us coming together in that space of the two or more, knowing that we are the change that we wish to see. And so I just give thanks. I give thanks for every blessed being that is here, for every person who is willing to take that risk, to step in, to be the change, to be the gift. And I call it good, and so very, very good. And so I just cast this forth into the law. I let it go and let it be, knowing that sweet Spirit always says, yes, my beloveds, yes, yes, yes. And we affirm this together by saying together, and so it is.
Yes. Blessed be.
Woo!